paper crafters, it's Collette. A few of you have asked me to do the pull-up card, so that's what I'm going to do on the video today. But before I do, I want to share with you this gorgeous die that I'm having so much fun with lately. It's called the Petite floral die from Couture Creations. Now, they always do amazing dies that cut beautifully, and this one is no exception. So cutting this one out, what I love about it, it just creates that beautiful delicate border that you can put down the edge of cards or along the actual length of a card. So I thought I would do a drapery card and use this. So here is what I've been playing with so far. Doesn't it look great? I've just popped it onto a white card base, and this is going to be my drapery element. I'm going to pop that on there, but I think it's so pretty and it's so delicate and it cuts so lovely. Back to our pull-up card. So for the pull-up card, it's a card that looks really tricky, and as you know, I love cards that have a surprise element to them, and this certainly does. So with this card, you simply pull up the card and it has this lovely I guess arms to it, and when you actually stand it, it does stand, so it just does stand a little bit so you can see what's happening in the card, so it's not just sitting flat when it's down. So a beautiful card. Let's have a go at how we actually make this. So today I'm using Couture Creations Le Petit Jardin paper collection. I love this collection. The reason why, it has both big and little designs, which makes it so perfect for card making and of course scrapbooking. So you've got all these lovely big designs. You can do some fussy cutting of flowers and things, but you've also got all these gorgeous small intricate designs with gorgeous colour combinations that are just perfect for cards. And hey, don't you love it when we get some stripes in a paper pad? Love that. So for the pull-up card, what we need is we simply need a base. So let's go ahead and get this all organised. So our base is going to be in cardstock, and I've chosen this green, and what we need to do is cut our base so it's 6 1/4 inches by 6 1/4 inches. Then we need some patterned paper that's going to sit on top of the base, and this is from the paper pad, and this one I've cut to 6 inches by 6 inches. So 6 1/4 inches by 6 1/4, 6 by 6. Then we need the bits that are going to go down the sides, the side strips. And for those side strips, what we need to do is cut a piece of paper that is, let me just squeeze that out so you can see, that is actually 12 inches by 8 inches. And what we're going to do is we are going to score those at 2-inch intervals on the long side. So we're going to score 2 inches, 4 inches, again into the soap to make it flow beautifully, 6 inches, 8 inches, and 10 inches. So once I've scored those, you can see those score lines just about. What I'm going to do is I'm then going to rotate that. I'm now going to pop that into my paper trimmer. And I'm going to cut that at 2-inch intervals. So 2 inches. And 2 inches. Cool. So I end up with 4 strips that are 2 inches by 8 inches long and that are scored at 2-inch intervals. Alright, so let's pop those to one side just for now. Now, as well as all that, I'm going to need some squares. So again, cut these into strips. So we need something that's going to contrast with this. And you can see I've already pre-cut these little squares to save time. And they're going to sit on top. So you want something that complements the patterned paper that you've selected. And I think this will go beautifully. And what we need to do is we need to cut 20 squares, which are 1 7/8 of an inch square. So 20 of these, 1 7/8 of an inch square. Now 4 of these you are going to stamp on. Okay, so I've just stamped a little sentiment on 4 of these, and I'm going to pop those to one side. Little tip here, I always stamp on the back. I always stamp on the back, so it's a smoother, easier surface to stamp on. And then the next thing that we need is we need some of our patterned paper. So this patterned paper is going to sit on the little squares, and they are going to sit on here. So you want to make sure that your color choices are pretty. There's so many lovely designs that you can choose from in that paper pad. So we need 18 squares of patterned paper, which are going to be 1 3/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. So you're going to need to cut 3 strips of 12 by 1 3/4 inches and subcut them into 1 3/4 inches. So you've got your 18. Now for the top of the card, to keep it all together, we need 2 bars, and these bars need to be 7/8 of an inch by 3 1/4. So 7/8 of an inch by 3 1/4. Okay, that's the bar. And then finally we need a couple of circles, and this kind of holds it together as well. So I've got 2 circles here, one in the green and one in the cream, and these ones I've cut to 1 3/8 of an inch. You could do 1 1/2 inches, it doesn't really matter. Use your nesting circle dies. And I've got one that's slightly smaller. Can you see that? That's slightly smaller, and that one is 1 1/4 inches. So you, again, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about the size so much, that's not so important, but you do need one that's going to be slightly smaller, just for decorative purposes. And that's all our cutting and pre-work done. So now we're on to the assembly. Let's get started. So I have here one of my strips that have been pre-scored, and what I'm going to do now is to decorate this strip. So the very bottom one, we leave that as it is, and we start with the next one up. And I'm going to pop down first of all my cardstock. So I'm using Couture Creations applicator bottle here. These are fabulous little bottles, and I just have this filled up with adhesive. It's quick, it's easy, and I love the fine nozzle that comes with it. So the next one will go on. Now I'm going to actually, so I've got 1 and 2, and then this one I'm just going to leave blank for now, and I'm going to pop this one up here. That one that I left blank, that's where we need to actually put the sentiment. So the sentiment goes down there. And our last little square will go on the last section at the top. Okay, so let's just zoom that out so you can see what that one looks like. You can see here I've got a finished version, but the next step that we do is we take the patterned paper and we decorate each of those sections. So there are my 4 strips already decorated, and all I have to do is fold them concertina style. So starting at the bottom, it's a mountain fold. Then we have valley, mountain, valley, mountain. Get your bone folder. Give that a good bit of pressure and do the same on all 4. So that's done, they're all folded. I'm just going to pop those to one side for just a minute and we get on to the next stage. The next stage is to take our patterned base, the 6x6, and we are going to attach the strips to this. So I need to work on the reverse, so I'm flipping this over. Oh, very pretty. And what I need to do is to take one of my strips. Okay, one of my strips here, and the way that that's going to work is that you're going to put adhesive on the back bottom section. So the bottom, the one that we didn't cover, on the back of that you're going to put some adhesive. So I'm just going to use some dry glue here, but you can of course use the wet glue, it doesn't matter. And I'm just going to center that on here. So I'm using my, oops, so you can't see that, I'm actually going to use my mat here to give me an idea. So 1, 2, so these are the 2 that are in the center, so I'm going to use those 2 as a guide. just roughly. Now what I'm being careful to do is to make sure that the score line is just over the edge, so that when that folds back, it folds back nicely. And I want to do that for all of the sides. So I'm going to grab another one of those strips, again on the back of the piece that we didn't cover, popping your adhesive down there, and exactly the same. So into the center, making sure that score line is just over the edge. And we repeat that with the other two. So that's my the back of my base for the pattern. So now what I'm going to do is attach this to the base card. Remember, we cut this 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. So all I need to do now is put some adhesive on the back of this. Fine, and then I'm going to position this. It's a little bit fiddly, this bit. I'm going to just zoom this out. Can you see me getting organized here? I'm just going to flip this over and position this. So you want roughly the same amount on all sides. Cool. All right, so that's the bases. The basics all kind of done, and when we actually pull this in, that's kind of how it looks on this one. All right, so now on the back of the base, just flipping this over, you can see what I did on the back of the green. I put an additional bit of pattern paper, and that was cut 6 by 6, and then I've just put a piece of cardstock which was cut I think it was 5 by 5, and that's where I'm going to write my sentiment for the person receiving this card. Okay, now the final thing that we need to do is to make our cross mechanism. So we're going to take our two crosses, and basically or bar strips should I say, we're just going to position them. So again, I'm just going to put some adhesive on here, and I'm going to roughly center it. Okay, that looks about right. And I am then going to take my circles, and I'm going to take one of the white circles. Let's just zoom this in now. And I am actually going to stick that down on top of the bar. This just gives it so much more support, because this is where it's been pulled up and down all the time. Oh, but I should have actually put the green one there, not the extra white one. So the green one's coming down there. But you could choose different colours to complement your pattern papers. And then on top of that green one, I'm going to put the little white one. Like that. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to make a hole. So use whatever hole punch you have. I'm just using my I forgot what these are called. I think they're crocodiles, yeah. So I've made a nice hole there, and then the next thing I need to do is grab some ribbon. So about 4 inches is plenty. Fold it in half, and then just fold the end in a few times, and that should make it nice and easy for you to pop through that hole. And then you can decide, that looks about right to me. I might just trim that back a little bit. And then all I'm going to do now is to take this, oh, someone wants me on the phone today, and I'm going to sply open my ribbon so it's nice and flat, and I'm going to take this circle and I'm just going to pop that on top, making sure that I can't see it from the other side. And I do need to trim my ribbon just a wee bit more because it's poking out and I don't like that. Okay, now grab your folder and give that a good burnish. Make sure it's well received together, and that will be cool. So the next thing that we're going to do now is attach this to our card base. And all I'm going to do here is I am going to take some adhesive and I'm going to put a little strip on the bottom of each piece of card here. And you can see where my adhesive is, and I am simply going to attach that to the very first one at the back. Lift up the next one, lift up the next first fold, and then lift up the last one. Give those a burnish because they're going to have a bit of pressure put on them. And then you can take a little bit more ribbon. And what we're going to do is just wrap this around here, just to make it look even more pretty. You can tie a bow, you can do all sorts of different things, obviously, but I'm quite happy with that. And then that's basically our card kind of finished. So you just basically pull that up. Let's just zoom it out a bit. Pull that up, and there we go. We have another beautiful pull-up card. How easy was that? Lovely. Nice surprise. So you can see there's other things that you can actually do with these cards. So you can see with the green, my green version, what I did is on the cross, I then put lots of gorgeous flowers and leaves and created this beautiful floral spray up here at the top, and I did the same on the purple. So you can see there my purple version, and all these papers again are all from that beautiful, beautiful collection, Le Petit Jardin. So the flowers are there, and that's the purple version. Another thing I often will do with these is through the hole there I will dangle a bit of twine or a little bit of wire. Sometimes I use the beading wire, and I can hang a single butterfly or something like that. So when it's pulled up, you've got this beautiful little butterfly just twinkling in the center there. You could actually put a small stand-up easel in the center. The other thing which is really cool, and I did this for someone's 60th birthday very recently, is I put down some beautiful little photographs in these areas here, and that became a bit of a feature at the party, and you can imagine everyone looking at that. So that's the pull-up card. Lots of fun, not hard to do at all. Please have a go. I'm sure you're going to love it, and I know the recipients will just be wowed by it. My name's Collette, and I do thank you for watching. I'd love you, please, 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 to share this video by sharing it on your Facebook page with your friends. That helps me. And also, please like my page if you haven't done that already, or subscribe, should I say. What that means is that every time I launch a new video, it's going to come straight to your inbox. It doesn't cost you anything. It comes straight to your inbox, so you're not going to miss out on all this amazing creativity. So for more information, please hop on to the Couture Creations blog. You'll see more pictures, etc. of this card. My name's Collette again. Thanks for hopping in. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.